Hi, my name is Teresa Chadala, and this is my final project for ED 688. And I decided to do a few Google documents on working with music collaboration throughout our district. I work in a relatively small district. It's not huge, but our buildings themselves are quite large. We have about 1,000 kids in our building, and that is just grades 3, 4, and 5. So the ability for me to work even monthly with the teacher that feeds into my program and for me to work with the teacher that I feed into is next to impossible. And so I thought this would be a great idea for us to have an ongoing conversation about what we're doing in our classroom. The goals for the project were to be able to work throughout the year with additional music teachers in the district without having to meet face to face. Like I said, we don't have a huge district. There's not a ton of us music teachers, but we all have very, very busy buildings, and our schedules are actually really busy and tight. We are expected, on professional development days to remain in our building and do what everybody in the building is doing. And so as a music educator, oftentimes, unless the PD days are on technology or behavior, and oftentimes they are not, they are on curriculum, we end up spending most of our day twiddling our thumbs with not a whole lot to do. I would say 99% of the time, the professional development days have little or nothing to do with what we are doing in our classrooms. The other goal was to be able to see where each of us starts the year, where we hope to be mid-year, and where we hope to finish the year, knowing that everything is aligned with the state of Ohio curriculum music standards. We actually did curriculum mapping in our district, and this was really put into place so that if a teacher were to quit and somebody had to come in, that a new teacher would have an idea of where we were at a specific time. But as we all know, when you take into account snow days and cold days, sometimes you don't get through as much as what you had hoped you would get through, especially when you're only seeing the kids every 3 or 4 days. I also another goal for the project was to add and share technology that we are using throughout the year. As a stay-at-home mom, I was for 11 years. When I came back into teaching, obviously technology had changed quite a bit. And so this has been a learning process for me. And so I wanted to be able to work with other teachers in the music department and find out what technology they were using and that they were finding successful in their classrooms. And then at the end of the year to evaluate how we felt this collaboration worked, or did it work at all. The technology standards that I'm using are standards 2, the learning and teaching. And this is identify, use, evaluate, and promote appropriate technologies to enhance and support instruction and standards-based curriculum leading to high levels of student achievement. Standard 3, productivity and professional practice. Employ technology for communication and collaboration among colleagues, staff, parents, students, and the larger community. And of course, Standard 5, assessment and evaluation, using technology to collect and analyze data, interpret results, and communicate findings to improve instructional practice and student learning. So my hope was that as I did this project and as I am doing this project continually, that I will meet these standards and we will continue to work toward this. I asked the music staff in Canal Winchester, I actually sent them each a spreadsheet. I shared these Google documents with them and they were asked to input the beginning, middle, and end of the year focus, but I also asked them to change the information throughout the year. The teacher that feeds into my program, we are both Kodály method trained teachers, and so we are trained to teach very similarly, but we don't meet at all, and oftentimes I have no idea where she is and she has no idea where I am throughout the year. I sent also the music staff a Google document that they could add songs, dances, websites, or any other pertinent information that they were using. This is very helpful, like in the case of myself and the teacher that feeds into my program, because we wanted to make sure we were not, or I was not repeating games and songs that she had done at the end of second grade or throughout second grade. And maybe I was planning on doing them that year. And so that the ideas were new and fresh and the activities were new for the students. And at the end of this trial of collaboration for the music staff, that we will be given an evaluation, and they will be given an evaluation to see if we can improve this product for next year. So what I did was I created several Google documents. I sent this Google document out to the teachers, and I just asked them to input their information, just all the things that I explained to you. Some of the teachers were really helpful and really willing to do it, and some were not. My hope is as the year goes on, they will continue or at least input some information so that we have a good idea as music educators how to keep the flow of music education good and strong throughout the year, throughout the years that the students are with us. The second document I sent them was beginning of the year focus, end of the year focus, and middle of the year focus, and then end of the year focus. I obviously added my information. The teacher next door added, and there was another teacher that teaches part-time that also added their information. This teacher teaches part-time music and part-time ELL. And so my hope is that the middle school teachers and high school teachers will also add information. My program feeds directly into the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade building. And I think knowing where their hopes that my 5th graders should be at the start of 6th grade would be incredibly helpful to me as I planned the last portion of my year. So as the year goes on this year, I am hoping that the teachers in the upper buildings will add their information, and I have already changed some of these things because I didn't get through as much as I had hoped I would get through in December, and that then of course changes what you will do at the end of the year. And so as the teacher that gets my kids in 4th grade, they have a very strong idea of what I really got through each month or each focus of each, either it's beginning, middle, or end of the year focus. The other thing I sent to them was, and the only teachers that have actually added to this is myself and the teacher next door. And this is basically a 2nd and 3rd grade song list. She teaches 2nd grade, I teach 3rd grade, and so I really wanted to know what things that she had gotten through, because as we started 3rd grade this year, I realized that she had not been able to get through as much as she had hoped because of testing at the end of the year. And there were several other factors that played into that. She was doubling up on classes because of lack of subs, substitute teachers, and things like that. And so this gave me a really good jumping point to say, okay, these are the songs I know that she's doing in 2nd grade, and these are the dances that we're doing. And so it gives us a really great idea of what each other are doing, and it gives the other teacher that is teaching 4th grade in my building some of the ideas that I'm doing. We do share some of the grade levels, just 3rd grade, and so he's been using some of the things that I've done so that we are kind of the kids are receiving the same information, and it's not so discombobulated across the board. We both are big on book reading and taking literature and putting that into music and talking about character traits and all of those things. Again, like I said, the middle school teachers, obviously their collaboration is going to look very different than what it would be in the elementary school. However, my 5th graders, as I begin their information and inputting their information, it really gives those 6th grade teachers an idea of what information they know about staff. What do they know about solfege? What kind of rhythms do they know? How solidly do they know the rhythms? And so all of that will be inputted into this part of the Google document as we continue on. And then at the end of the year, my hope is that we can all do an evaluation of these Google documents and find out, did they really work? Did you really find time to put anything into this document on a regular basis, even if it's just once a month? Do you find knowing what the students really truly know at the beginning of the year help you plan those first few days? I know for myself, I like to hit the floor running. I like to just really get the kids as if we didn't miss a beat, but it's often very hard because you have a lot of new kids. We have a lot of moving kids, but we also only have our kids for 2 or 3 years and then they move on to the next building. And so to really have a solid foundation of what those second graders got before they got to me, and if the sixth graders have a solid foundation of what the fifth graders really achieved, then they can start the year with great confidence. I actually wanted to see if they would like to see a PD just for the related arts on those professional development days. Would it be nice to have a whole afternoon where we could all collaborate on what we're doing, even if it's on music technology? I know for myself, I would find that very helpful. And so um, this is just an evaluation, and this is something that I wanted to ask them, what technology are you using, especially our middle school, because we have 2 middle school music technology teachers. I really wanted to know, what are you using in that technology classroom? Is it something that I can be using with my fifth graders? Obviously, they see their kids more often than I see mine, but I'm certainly willing to put those into my program. And add things into my program as much as I can, especially in my older grades, my fifth graders. So this was my project. It's an ongoing process that I'm doing. I'm actually kind of excited about it because it's the first time that we've been able to collaborate without having to see each other, because we don't have the time to do that. And gives a solid continuation of music education. Hopefully it will, and will continue in grades kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. And so as we look for that well-rounded individual, that well-rounded student, we know that music and art and these related arts are important in making a student a well-rounded individual.